Kimmi again, and I'm here to show you how to use Photoshop and learn how to use the basics of Photoshop. The first thing I would always learn is how to use a layer palette, which is this. I'm having multiple layers by clicking this little button here or deleting some by pressing the little trash can. You can also group many layers by grouping them up like that. And you can also, and this is an easier way of changing a layer, like gradient maps and all that stuff. This, I don't know what it, oh there we go, it adds it back to mask. And this is the blending options, which is an easier way of getting into the blending options. And this is to lock your layer down. This is blending options for your layer, which is like darken, lighten, soft light, or any of those. Or you can lower the opacity by using this. You can change it, or you can use this, but I prefer using this. And fill is the same thing, kinda. Then now I'm just gonna show you how to use the Real Tool panel. Yay! Now this is the marquee tool where you can select something, and you can use the selecting tool to move it around and press Ctrl D to deselect it. And you can also use the lasso tool, but you choose what you want instead of like it being all custom. And there we go. Looks weird, huh? And this tool I really like because it's easy to use for rendering, and they select a certain spot on the thing, and it's called the wand tool. This is called the crop tool, just to crop something like that. And this is the brush tool. Brushing is easy. You have to sometimes download brushes to like get a better look. Like this is a vector brush that I have downloaded off DeviantArt, and this is a gradient tool, one of my favorite tools. Ta-da! And there you go. And the paint bucket tool, which I hope most of you know how to use. There we go. I've used it in pattern. Sometimes you can change it to foreground and just poke it in like that. And one of my least favorites is the pen tool, which is really hard to use, and the eraser tool, which is another easy tool, I mean. And the pattern tool is just to make a pattern in your own way instead of like the pattern for the paint bucket tool, which just fills in everything and then you have to erase. And the history brush tool is pointless because it's just like the eraser tool. And the text tool is easier to use. You just select it like that and then just write your name, whatever, and you can always change it. Let's see, what other tools? Pencil tool, which is just a pencil, la la la. And color placement, which I don't ever use in any way. And the eye drop tool, which helps you select the color, black, gray, whatever, see, as you can see in that area. And you can also use two. That's how you make a gradient, like choose gray and then choose black. And then you go to the gradient tool and go like that, see, now it's gray and black. And also, if you want that to be on top of this, then you have to drag the layer up and down. But if you don't want it to, then you should drag it down, like that. So you can see the font and the custom shape tool. Now, The smudge tool is one of my favorites because it's fun to use. You smudge it up a little bit and you mess around with it a lot. Well, at least I do. And you get to smudge it up. Whee! Smudge it up is a really weird word, don't you think? And a crop tool, I've told you. What haven't I told you? A polygonal tool is harder. Oh, and if you want to stop selecting things, like so it'll be like all that, you press Control and then click at the end or anywhere. And same for the magnetic tool, but then the magnetic just like selects whatever it can find, and then you also press Control and end it. And that's pretty much it that I know of, and that you should know of for this. And for really, and if you want to know at the top, there's filters, which is like really good, that I love using, and like a signature isn't perfect without filters. That's how I go. And selecting layers. See, same thing as the little black and white thingy circle over at the layer palette and the image. And edit and file, and there you go. And to resize image, you go to help and resize image. And now that's pretty much it for my tutorial. I hope you learned most of the tools on Photoshop and keep watching tutorials on Tutorials. Thank you for watching, and this is Kimmi.